Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome one, welcome all to more Trials of Innocence. Also, my only stream for this week because yesterday I was at an HOA meeting and for the rest of the week I'll be at Phoenix Con. I'm excited. It's nice for once to just be like, yay, I can take some time off just to not worry about streaming, not worry about anything other than just enjoying some time and playing board games with people I don't even know. Because I'm going to the convention alone. And then spending lots of money on, stuff to, eventually bring to my friends. And add to my dice collection. Which I don't really play much of D&D outside of, going to this convention. But I would like to change that fact. So that's why I'm really excited about Phoenix Con. Technically, I would like to say the convention has already started, and I could get my tickets, but there was nothing interesting tonight. In my opinion, there was nothing interesting from tonight, so it's just like, yeah, but I don't need to go. So I chose not to go, and that has to be done. So anyways, you might think, oh, Nitro, you're gonna go so late tonight because you don't have to be up in the morning for work. No, I still have to be up sort of early for the convention. Plus, I have to go do a couple things after stream to make sure I'm all ready. Mostly like get my Extra Life shirts, all my Extra Life shirts washed because they're all dirty because I didn't do laundry this weekend like I should have. Anyways, enough talking about that. Let's play Trials of Innocence. Wait, no, hold it. Load game. No. Hold on. Did I forget to save it, like, before we ended it? I might have. So let's just... Just quickly... Okay, and it was... Did we do that? And also, this is just a nice... Is it this?
That's it.
I was... Okay, hold on. Let me take the log. Oh yeah.
That's it.
We're just quickly getting through this because we did this last time and I forgot to save.
That's it.
But this music is catchy, so.
Hold it.
Wait, hold on. Logs. Oh, it's the handcart.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. A quick talk. And it'll be fine. Everything's fine. Just get to listen to more kick-ass music. Because someone forgot to save. It's not my fault. Somebody put a wall in my way. I'm kidding. And that's the story, and I'm going to it. Okay, Annie, let's go home and go straight to the trial. November 10th, 9:18 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby. The trial's about to start, though I have no clue about the truth. It's my first time going to court without Chief. I'm a bit nervous. Fudge. Be cool and get yourself together. Fighting! Sis Luna, you look pale. Are you okay? Annie caught me. She saw. She saw right through me. Curse this. Without Chief around, I'm a bit worried. It'll be fine. I think. Also, with Miss Sapphire's careless personalities and her suspicious actions at the crime scene, this ain't gonna be easy. Hey, Sis Luna, don't think too much. There's a saying, seamlessly, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This is specially made lemon tea number 134. It can soothe your nerves. Please enjoy it. Thanks. Gulp, gulp. Wait, hold on. I can gulp. I can't gulp lemon tea because I don't have any lemon tea. Someone make me some lemon tea, damn it! If I'm offered lemon tea at Phoenix Con, I am taking it with a heartbeat. Though I don't think I'm big enough to go to a local convention. And someone would be like, "Hey, I saw your sheep last night, and so I made you a special plate of lemon tea." But that would be cool. Feeling much better. Oh, and one more thing. Annie, the defense is empty today. I have already asked, and even an intern without certification can participate. How about you sit next to me today? Really? I'm so glad. Then I can closely observe your brilliant defense. Probably won't be defeated by the prosecutor so quickly and leave an embarrassment. Hey! It'll be fine. Whoa! Miss Lawyer, you're so early. Miss Sapphire, here you come. Lemon tea? Give me a cup. Yeah, of course, please. The tea can calm your mind, which is perfect for you to relax before the trial. Hey, it's just a trial. What's the big deal? A murder trial is about to begin, but the defendant and her lawyer are casually having a tea party. Nah, we seem weirder. No, we haven't. I think this takes the cake. The defendant and her team just having a tea party. What could possibly go wrong? Thanks to you two, I'm not nervous at all. By the way, Miss Sapphire, I want to ask you. I asked the question I didn't get to ask yesterday. What? Any other questions? Yesterday we only talked to you about moving the director's body. What happened after that? You know everything after that. I went out and grabbed a wiping rag to wipe away the bloodstains on the floor randomly. Then I went at home in the rain. Unbelievable. Are you telling me you just left him there? Of course not. As soon as I entered my home, I immediately called the police and my hair was so wet. Wait, you called the police? Why didn't you say it earlier? Well, you didn't ask. I've never heard of it before. How much information haven't you told me yet? Well, maybe some unimportant details. What? Really? 1 minute and then the trial begins. Defense and attorney, please be positioned immediately. What should I do? I haven't finished yet. Calm down. I believe in you too. Winning is absolutely a piece of cake. What are you talking about? Ah! Suddenly I understand why Sis often wants to punch people into the wall. But what about Chief? Sis Luna, are you okay? Never mind, no use to be panicked at this moment. We're fine! This is fine! In the great words of Apollo's justice, we're fine! Annie, let's go. Okay. Although I feel like I was in trouble when the investigation wrapped up yesterday. Only as I stepped into the courtroom did I realize I truly have a broad ship bound for trouble. Let's go to the courtroom now. Hope everything will be fine. It's fine. We're fine. Everything is fine. Today, the trial for Zori Sapphire, a research intern from the Crimson Ultra Realistic Robot Research Center. Whew, that's a mouthful to say. Suspected of murdering Joseph Crimson, the center's director, is now in session. Yes, defense attorney Lena Ray is ready. Miss Ray, you don't have to shout it so loudly. I can hear you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Notice Mr. Drake is not at the defense bench today. Chief, Mr. Drake is currently occupied, so I'm handling the defense all by myself this time. Oh, I see. Looks like everyone in the courtroom today except me is freshly new. What's that supposed to mean, Your Honor? You look like you haven't since the day since you graduated from judge school. Freshly new? Luna, did you forget the prosecutor is also a new guy? Prosecutor Shelbert is handling the trial today. Like you, he doesn't have too much experience. You're both freshly new. Yes, I forget about that. You know what, not gonna lie, dude looks kind of handsome. It kind of looks like, you know, he could be my dad. Like my VTuber dad, my VTuber's dad. But his beard is not nearly as big. Because you know that, you should know this, chat. I have indeed. Also, there is a message I have to send to Michael afterwards because I keep forgetting about doing it, and it's just like I can't easily take a picture of it right now because it involves Stella. Is he the prosecutor today? He seems about my age. But why would the judge allow him to wear headphones in the courtroom? So, Prosecutor Shortbird, are you ready? Can he even hear us? Does he have the noise canceling on? Prosecutor Shortbird? Can you hear with those headphones on? Is the prosecution ready? Noisy, I'm listening. Whoa. My nose feels like it's got itch. And then? Well, we were about to get in the trial. So what? So that's what I'm saying. We're about to begin the trial. Whatever. Huh, whatever. We're about to begin the trial now. Okay, please. I'm a bit confused. Since everything's fine, please go on. Yes. So let the trial begin. What? The judge already led away by the prosecutor completely? First, Prosecutor Sherbert, begin with your opening statement. We accuse the defendant Zoe Sapphire of murdering Joseph Scrimson. Well... She's straightforward and to the point! Why are these silences so funny to me? That's all? Yeah. What's wrong with the prosecutor? Sis Luna, this prosecutor is so strange. At least he's not threatening to punch us into a wall. Indeed. Never mind. If he continues like this, it's perfect for me, and I'll try to secure an acquittal today. So, if the opening statement is finished, prosecutor, please summon the first witness. He just gives me the attitude of like, alright. Okay, whatever, dude. Well, Sis Luna, the judge seems to be signaling for our help. The defense has no objections. Please summon the witness. Great, quickly summon the witness. The judge looks so relieved. Unbelievable. Hey, Detective Stanford. Hey, everyone. I'm your first witness, Tessa Stanford. Oh, aren't you the famous Detective Stanford? Oh my, do you know me? Of course, your remarkable achievements are well known in the judicial circle. Huh? Is she that famous? If so, things will be easier. As you know, as an Interpol, I am very busy. Let's get this done ASAP. Well, we'll try, but depends on the progress of the trial. Don't worry, the situation in this case is clear. It won't take much time to explain. Is that so? Of course. I can guarantee that explaining this case will take less than the time than resolving a gang fight on the way. A gang fight? Resolving a gang fight. Did she take down everyone involved in that gang fight? Annie, please consider Detective Stanford the most formidable individual that we cannot mess with. Even though I don't understand what it means, I'll write it down. Name, occupation. Whoa. This guy actually speaks sometimes? Dude, he's like me. God. Witness, your name and occupation? Okay, sweetie, my name is Tessa Stanford. Well, I'm the Deputy Director of the local Criminal Investigation Bureau and a member of the branch of Interpol in our country. Begin your testimony. Sure, no problem. Huh? Is it starting now? Fantastic. It seems like the entire court is led away by this weird prosecutor. Well, please proceed with your testimony. According to the observatory report, the crime occurred between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. on November 8th. The person who called the police is the defendant, Zoe Sapphire. Joseph Crimson, cause of death is excessive bleeding with a fatal injury at the back of his head. Although the exact cause of injury still waits for more details, the forensics experts now have a preliminary result. The force causing the injury is comparable to that of falling from a 15-meter height, indicating that it can't be of human origin. Yes, the victim fell from a height of 15 meters and died. That's all. Indeed, Detective Sanford is reliable. I told you, explaining cases and punishing perpetrators are the same for me. Easy peasy. So the director fell to his death. I thought the cause of his death would be more sci-fi, as a scientist. What do you think we are? What do you think this is, Your Honor? A game? You're right, it is a game. This is the first time I've heard of someone using sci-fi to describe the death. How would a sci-fi death even work? Like, do you think about it? Like, maybe someone remotely controlled the robot to commit the crime? Cyan? Your Honor, you really haven't lost your childlike imagination. I wasn't questioning the police's judgment. Let me explain to you the so-called 3 laws of robotics. Every robot must obey the 3 laws. The first one states, a robot may not injure a human being through inaction allow human to become into harm. A robot must obey the orders of the human beings is the second law. These robots in the research center were all designed to follow these laws at the beginning. Even though the creator, Joseph Christensen himself, couldn't command the robots to harm humans. Do you understand now? I see. Although I didn't fully understand it, it seems very amazing. Fine, that's all. I'm heading back now. I still have 2 gang leaders' confessions to record. Hold it! Huh. Well, Detective Sanford, didn't you just say that you would explain the case in less time than resolving a gang fight? Yeah, did I go over time, sweetie? No, not really. I mean, the case is still not clear, so you can't leave yet, now. Sweetie, are you sure that I didn't explain it clearly enough, rather than all you have difficulties with understanding? Anyways, the defense request is to question the witness. Detective Sanford, what do you think? Seriously, which one of you is the judge? Welcome back to Whose Court Is It Anyways, where the accusations don't matter and the objections don't matter. Where the objections don't matter and the contradictions are all made up. There we go. I did it. No, seriously, guys, what if I made a game show like that? We could do it in Guilty as Socks. It's okay. Let her ask. It won't change anything. Let me see how capable Scylla's little sister is. Okay, the defense questioning request is permitted. Okay. Hold it. So this preliminary result hasn't been included in the observatory report yet? That's right, we still cannot confirm the exact method of the crime. But though through forensic testing, we have a preliminary judgment. If the observatory report is absolutely unquestionable, I might have to start from this preliminary result to find a breakthrough. Hold it! Can we be sure that the injury was absolutely not caused by a human? Absolutely certain. Even a muscular man like Schwarzenegger can't do it? Well, perhaps it's possible for the Terminator using if the Terminator was using full force, so it needs to be a much strong force. Sorry to bother you, but may I ask, what is the Terminator? It's a very powerful character in a movie. A robot body with a body full of muscles and metal inside. Wow, so the killer in this case is Mr. Terminator? I wish it were. Anyways, with the power of a human alone, no weapon can cause such an injury. Hold it! Detective Sanford, isn't this conclusion a bit hasty? Well, why? I think there might be other possibilities. Really? Then I would like to hear your brilliant theory. If you fail, I will use electric sparks to make a scarf around your neck. No need. I have scarves at home. I'm thinking, if the injury couldn't have been done by a human, what about non-human? The 3 laws of robotics. Hold on, let me read them. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human to come to cause. A robot must obey the orders of human being, except for when in such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect itself as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Oh, non-human? Then what do you think it could be? I remember in the world's first detective novel, the killer was a strong chimpanzee. Oh, so there's a chimpanzee raised in the center? Well, maybe. It's normal for a research center to have animals inside, isn't it? If the chimpanzee's strength isn't enough, what about an elephant or something? Then it's possible. So the research center is actually a zoo? Sweetie, I really hate to break your fantasy. Unfortunately, it's impossible. Why? The instruments at the center are extremely precise. There are strict regulations against animals in there. An elephant wandering around the labs? That's ridiculous. Forget about that. Come on, sweetie. Tell me what kind of scarf you want. Whoops. Got the spies, but Detective Sanford.
Hold it!
From 4 to 6 p.m. So there's a 2-hour error range? Yes. The body was placed in such an obvious place. Shouldn't have been discovered It should have been discovered quickly. Why is there such a long error range for the time of the incident? Sweetie, don't get mixed up. That's the time the body was discovered is not the same as the time of death. Is that so? First, the director might not have been dead when found. Even if he was, his death might have not been discovered right away. Second, the Crimson ultra-realistic robot research center is located in a remote suburb. Because it's a nationally classified institution, there is neither a village nearby nor local police stations. After the heavy rain, the roads were nearly impassable. It took a full hour from the time of the call when we arrived. Who knows what happened during that period? Yeah, that makes sense. Not to mention, someone conducted extremely unprofessional actions of moving the victim. This foolish way of moving it only complicates the condition of the body. I see. Judging by her tone, she definitely knew it was the defendant who moved the body. Anyways, the forensics opsary report is absolutely scientific and trustworthy. It's better not to doubt it, sweetie. I just thought that some details were not clear. Your demands are quite high. Don't worry, we have more supplementary reports coming up. Thank you. I appreciate having. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the update. I will appreciate the updated opsary report.
Hold it!
So, she did call the police? I just found out about it before the trial. Seriously? Aren't you her lawyer? How on earth did you communicate? Very infrequently, to be fair. The case was taken too hastily. I haven't clarified many things yet. Right now, I'm the only one who wants to shout, seriously? Miss Sapphire was the one who called the police. Does it mean she's unlikely to be the killer? Naive. I don't care if she had a kill or had some other motive. Even if she is the one who called the police, it doesn't make her less suspicious.
Hold it!
Is the cause of death really excessive bleeding? It's right there in the opsary report. Are you blind? If there's any words that you can't recognize, I can recommend the best kindergarten to you, sweetie. No thanks, I understand it. The opsary report, crystal clear. Crystal clear. No need. I mean, if the cause of death is excessive bleeding, isn't it a bit strange? Looking at the photo from the scene, there's not many bloodstains around the body. Sweetie, are you messing with me? What? I told you yesterday during the investigation, the body was moved. How do you know there weren't many bloodstains at the first crime scene? Well, I'm just checking. Trials are serious matters. Don't interrupt me with such a boring question next time. Yes. Hmm. Hmm.
Objection!
No. Where could he have fallen from 15 heights, by the way?
Objection!
No, okay. Annie, what do you think? Although Detective Sanford seems like an impatient while testifying, her testimony is impeccable. She really is a seasoned detective. Sis Luna? What's up, Annie? I don't quite understand. Does Detective Sanford mean that director fell from a very high place and died? Judging from the opposite report, yes. But in the movies I watched before, there are often people jumping from third floors and are unharmed. Well, that's stunts in movies. In reality, it's impossible to fall from the third floor and be unharmed. Stunt? What's that? Sounds amazing. Wait, something seems wrong. Can falling from a third floor research center really cause such a serious injury?
Objection!
No. Okay.
Objection.
Okay, whatever. Sorry, Your Honor. Although the exact cause is still way too more details, the forensic experts have no primary result.
Objection.
No. Let me try again, Your Honor. Guilty. Okay, let's do this.
Hold it.
Again, like I said, I've said this many times before, I can't just look at a guide for something like this because all the guides are written in Chinese. And guess who can't read Chinese? Me! It's a real predicament. The forcing cause of injury is comparable to that of falling from 15 meters height, indicating that it can not be of human origin. Wait a second.
Objection.
But it does she was just saying. There we go. Objection. The victim fell from a height of 15 meters and died. Detective Sanford, is that your final conclusion? What? Isn't it the most reasonable conclusion? Sorry, Detective Sanford, but that's impossible. Why? For the current buildings, the average height is about 3 meters. So falling from 15 meters high would mean falling from a height of 5 floors. That's right. Now please look at this house plan of the Crimson Ultra-Realistic Robot Research Center. Damn, that is a mouthful every time I have to say it. From what we can clearly see, the building only has 3 floors, and the caption clearly states that the building height is only 10 meters. Huh? What? Oh, order. Defense, please explain that. We have investigated the center, and there's no tall structure on the rooftop. Therefore, there is no 15-meter height difference in the center. So, Detective Sanford, please explain it. Where does the extra 5 meters come from in your analysis? Indeed, where does it come from? Huh? Detective Sanford? I'm the one who was asking. If so, sweetie, what do you think of the actual situation back then? Me? Yes, since you think my argument doesn't make sense. You must have a more reasonable one, right? Well, not really. I'm just pointing out contradictions like Chief taught me to. Oops, I point out the contradiction, but haven't thought about that at all. Whoops! Doodles! Oh, the defense seems to be quite confident. Please share your opinion. How do I look confident? A reasonable argument. Let me think. For example, I know! Detective Sanford, in your testimony just now, the forensic judgment is the force is incomparable to that of a falling from a height of 15 meters, right? Yes. So as long as the force is comparable to that, it would cause such an injury. So the victim might necessarily have died from falling from a height, right? Theoretically, yes. But in a situation where human strength cannot cause such an injury, and robots are not allowed to harm humans, other than falling, I can't really think of any other possibilities. Well, there is the other possibilities. Oh, really? So, Luna, do you have anything in mind? I have said a lot of possibilities, but none have any evidence. Whatever, let me take a guess. Maybe it'll turn out right. Now's the time, good time to bluff, just like Chief would do. Sweetie, it seems you have an answer from now. I think the cause of the director's death might be yes, let's take a step back for a moment. If the director did fall from a height of 15 meters, then the center couldn't be the real crime scene because there's no place with a 15-meter height in the center. Is that possible? Yes, please take a look. When the director's body was found, it was placed on a handicart. So it's possible that the victim was killed elsewhere and then transferred to the center. With this handicart, it's easy to move him anywhere. My client just happened to discover the body, and then she was considered the suspect. But the real killer has already disappeared untrackably long before that. Huh. Is that possible? I feel like I was wrong. Whoops. If the center isn't the crime scene, then the defendant even has an alibi. Exactly. Order. It actually worked. It was just a random guess. Oh, I guess that maybe I was right. Well done, Sislina. It seems like you completely gained the upper hand. In addition, the defense believes that there's another possibility that cannot be ignored. Another possibility. To the cause of the victim's injuries, the force needed to be comparable to falling from a height of 15 meters, which leads us to believe that the victim fell from a high place. But we missed one thing. What if it was not the victim that fell from a height? What do you mean? It was not the victim? If someone else falls, why would the director be the one who died? No, that's not what I meant. What I want to say is, what if the victim's injury wasn't caused from falling from a height, but a falling object from a height? A falling object from a height? Although human force isn't enough to cause such severe injuries, gravity could. For example, a flat and heavy object fell from a height, hitting the director who was lying on the ground. What? What? Isn't that possible? Because this idea sounds too foolish. I haven't actually thought about it at all. If a heavy object fell from the height and hit the victim on the back of the head, could it really cause such an injury? Although it's hard to imagine, the police couldn't rule out this possibility. Oh, the defense really has put forward an incredible argument. Actually, I'm just taking another random guess. Well, anyways, if the murder weapon was a falling object from a height, we should have re-examined the case from a new perspective. It might be a heavy object pushed down from the third floor, or even heavier and harder object from the second floor. Therefore, the prosecution has no reason to suspect my client only. Everyone in the center had the opportunity to commit the crime. Are we gonna finally hear him go like objection or something? During the investigation, the police did not find any heavy objects that could be lifted and dropped. Also, if there were any scratches or impact marks, it should attract attention. But the police didn't specifically investigate for this possibility, right? Maybe something was overlooked. What you said doesn't make some sense. Order! Well done, Sislina. Keep this up and we'll win. It's still too early to claim victory, but surviving today seems like a sure thing. This case doesn't seem so difficult after all. 3, 2, 1. Though without Chief, I can handle it. 3, 2, 1. Surprisingly, shortly after the trial began, this case situation is completely different. 3, 2, 1. I will be right eventually. The research center may not be the actual crime scene, and the cause of the death is victim's death is uncertain. This is indeed a challenging case. It seems we'll have to reopen the investigation and
noisy.
I didn't even approach it this time. What was that? For Prosecutor Schulper, was that you just now? He's so quiet, I always forgets. Oh, I forgot that Celis is still here. Never mind. If the alto doesn't end soon, even Hayden Symphony number 94 in G minor would put people to sleep. Huh? What? Ah, music! He's a music nerd! Got it! In that case, it's time to get down to business. What's going on? I have a bad feeling. Regarding the defense attorney's argument and conclusion just now, the prosecution only has one stance. Overruled. Overruled. What? First, the argument that the victim may have died from an impact of a falling object, not from a fall, overruled. Huh? To cause injury equivalent to a person falling from 15 meters, the impact of the object must have been equivalent to impulse that causes such injuries. The impulse from a falling object that can be approximated by the mass of a falling object and the falling height. To give an object falling from below 15 meters the same impulse as the victim falling from 15 meters, the object has to be heavier than the victim. Wait. However, based on the prosecution's knowledge of the internal situation at the Crimson Ultra Realistic Robotics Research Institute, fucking that is impossible to say. All large tools and instruments in the center are fixed to the ground or walls and cannot be moved. All movable tools, without exception, are lighter than one person. Therefore, it's impossible for the victim to die from the impact of a high-falling object. Well, the handy cart! And second, the argument that the crime scene may not be at the Crimson Ultra-Realistic Robot Research Center, overruled. It seems the defense attorney has not conducted the necessary pre-trial investigation. I kinda just took this case last minute! Due to the need for large tools and instruments, the height of each floor is approximately 3.3 meters. As an ongoing construction, the deep foundation pit has recently been dug behind the building. The height of the third floor window is around 8 meters, and the depth of the pit is slightly more than 6 meters. Thus, the drop from the third floor to the bottom of the pit is about 15 meters. Therefore, the Crimson Ultra Realistic Robot Research Institute fully meets the conditions to be the crime scene. Huh? Third, the argument of the victim was moved elsewhere from the center, overruled. The center is located in a relatively remote suburb. According to the investigation, there is no drop greater than 10 meters within a radius of 10 kilometers. Whether the building ends or the logical topography. What? So if the crime scene isn't the center, it must be somewhere more than 10 kilometers away from where the body was found. In that case, moving the body without leaving a trace would be significantly more challenging. No one would push a handicart for 10 kilometers after committing the crime. That's absurd. Unless the defense can present solid evidence, it's better not to make baseless statements like this.
Objection.
Even so, other people in the center could also. Overruled. As mentioned earlier, the drop from the third floor window to the bottom of the pit is exactly 15 meters. The victim must have been pushed from the third floor of the building. At the time of the incident, no one besides the defendant could have pushed the victim into the deep pit. To verify these points, the prosecution now applies to submit new evidence. Oh, is it my turn now? Please go ahead. Thanks. Dude, this music is so good though. I wish I could get it. I wish I could have a way just to listen to it, just not fully. This is a report about the construction pit, detailing the information obtained after the investigation. First, we detected a luminal reaction at the bottom of the pit. Given the heavy rain during the incident, the prosecution views it as evidence that the victim was once in the pit. In addition, the pit below the windows, below the window of the third floor stockroom. Apart from the stockroom window, there's no other spot on the third floor where the victim could have fallen into that pit. Only the defense's fingerprints were discovered on the stockroom doors and windows, without sign of tampering or concealment. In conclusion, the one who created the treasure that marked the end of the victim's life could only be the defendant, Zoe Sapphire. Just no. What on earth happened? Sister, are you okay? Hang in there. Well, although I don't know what just happened. None of us do, Your Honor. But all I know is that music was fucking awesome. It seems undoubtedly the defendant is the killer, right? Yes, Your Honor. Please use your maraca to announce the verdict. This is a gavel. Doesn't matter. Use it to declare the verdict. Oh, okay.
Objection.
Did we just yell objection without knowing what we're objecting to? The one who pronounced the verdict should be the judge, not you. But well, this trial can't end now. So what exactly do you want to object to? The prosecution's claims! Oops, I just shouted without thinking. This prosecutor spoke like a machine gun. How do I know what to object to? Well, the prosecution's conclusion is too hasty. Hasty? I find it quite reasonable. What part do you think seems hasty? Well, for example, the evidence proving that the defendant pushed the victim from the stockroom is all indirect, right? Think carefully. There's nothing to verify the exact moment of the incident. Just because the defendant had the chance to commit the crime doesn't mean the defendant definitely did it. This case has no eyewitnesses, and the victim left no messages. Nothing is more hasty than making a verdict based solely on indirect evidence. Is he just gonna be like, overruled? Prosecutor Schilbert? I'm listening. He just spoke like a machine gun for a few minutes, and now he's back to needless data at the beginning of the trial. No need for me to explain it. Detective Stanford? Oh, my turn again? Celis indeed is a naughty child. he just looks like a case of a dude has ADHD or something. Come on, body pillow, why can't you come out when I need you? He gives all Hazen vibes, personality-wise. Look-wise, not so much. But the vibe is there. Sending that one to random as well. Sweetie, do you really think the police would casually arrest someone for the prosecution? What? As you just said, the case has no eyewitnesses, and the victim left no messages, right? Yes? What a pity. This case not only has eyewitness, but also the most crucial information left by the victim. What? She must be talking about the voodoo doll. She's probably talking about the voodoo doll. You're out. Let me tell you the real reasons the police arrested the defendant. Nope, not for. Firstly, the defendant was frequently scolded by the victim, providing a strong motive for murder. And I found a voodoo doll in the stock room. There's needles stuck in it to curse the victim. The victim left conclusive evidence providing that the defendant is the murderer. Considering the scene as well, this messy lady is the only one possible to commit the crime. All right, Your Honor, please deliver the verdict. I got work to do at the police station. See ya. Are you serious? The defendant made a voodoo doll to curse the victim? To get a cold. That's it, Your Honor. Yes, this is it. I would have shown it to you if this defense hadn't insisted. How ominous it looks. Order! Order. Miss Sapphire, you now should understand what goes around comes around. I never expected such misalice would come from such a laid-back lady. Actually, she made the doll only to curse the director to get it with a cold. Who would believe that? Whoops, not even I would. The police seems to investigate thoroughly before making the arrest. Defense, it is your turn to question. Huh, is that still necessary? I would still like to use my right to question the witness. It is my duty as a defense attorney so that I can press every single statement. Because that's what I do as a defense attorney. Although my answer is no, we better follow the procedure. Well, I'll just stay with you a little longer, even though it won't make any difference. Even so, the trial can't end unclearly.
Hold it!
Considering the scene, what does that mean specifically? For example, there are obvious signs of rainwater on the frame of the stockroom window. Clearly, the window was open during the heavy rain on the day of the incident, and no fingerprints were found on the window handle except the defendant's. It's normal for the defendant to be in the stockroom during work. If she ever opened the window for ventilation, of course her fingerprints would be left. You're right, the windows at the scene are not decisive evidence. However, all the evidence is related to her and not anyone else. I can't refute that at all.
Hold it!
Don't rush off, I haven't finished questioning yet. Do you know during the time you pestering me, I could have prevented a bank robbery or caught a jewel thief. With a few more minutes, I might have even dismantled a human trafficking ring. Miss Ray, you allowed such evil to flourish. Hey, I can't be blamed for that. Detective Stanford, please let me finish questioning. I'm begging you. Why couldn't you, if she wanted to do all of that, why didn't you just let Detective Spark do all this questioning? Oh, okay, shoot. After that, I won't stop you from saving the world. If I mean to go, there's no way you can stop me. All right, for Stella's sake, I'll retell the conclusive evidence, sweetie. But be quick, understand?
Hold it!
Being scolded doesn't necessarily constitute a strong motive, right? No, it doesn't in general. However, the victim was very testy, and the defendant is impulsive and prone to cause trouble. Even though someone patient could tolerate the damage she made during her internship, let alone the director. What on earth did she do? As far as I'm concerned, the defendant is an outstanding overseas returnee. But she was disliked by the victim and never received proper recognition due to her impulsiveness. This long-lasting suppressed resentment is far more than from insults, isn't it? Is that so? But I don't think Miss Sapphire would care about such things at all. I agree, but the judge and the audience don't know the defendant personally. They won't think so. The motive does make sense. I understand. Wow, so Mr. Beard can be easily fooled. Hey, mind your voice. And give him lemon tea. Always give the judge lemon tea. We need him on our side. Give him lemon tea.
Hold it!
The stockroom is a public place, isn't it? How can you determine whether the doll is related to the defendant? Are you pretending to be silly? The words are written on the doll saying, Dr. Crimson, I curse you. The handwriting has been confirmed to match the defendant's. I saw that coming. But even so, the doll cannot be considered evidence for arresting the defendant, right? Are the police suggesting that Director Crimson was cursed to fall to death by my client? Oh, sweetie, I never said that was the key evidence. It just reflects the defendant's resentment toward the victim.
Hold it!
The victim left conclusive evidence. Why was I not informed of it? Why should you? There's a lot more you don't know, sweetie. The victim left a direct message telling us that Zoe Sapphire left a direct message telling us that Zoe Sapphire is undoubtedly the murderer. But what? There's a message? Detective Stanford, is this true? Absolutely. What should I do? Should I continue questioning? Detective Stanford claims to have evidence, but avoids to mention it directly in her testimony. It must be a trap. But even if I don't ask, she won't keep the evidence forever. So should I walk into the lion's den? Detective Stanford, you said that the victims left conclusive evidence identifying the murderer. What is it exactly? Could you be more specific? Are you kidding me, sweetie? You're the one in the courtroom who knows the case the best. No, I can't imagine what shocking and unreliable action Zoe Sapphire could have taken. Alright, I'm running out of time. I'll explain it to you clearly this time. Before the victim died, he wrote down the killer's name on the ground clearly.
Hold it!
Detective Stanford, may I ask what the so-called killer's name is? The name is obviously the defendant, Zoe Sapphire. Huh? How could it be? I knew nothing about it. Stop fussing. It's perfectly normal for a dying person to strive to point out the killer. Where was the name exactly? On the floor in the biochemistry lab. I told you. Sweetie, what's wrong with your ears? Why do I always have to repeat myself? I'm sorry, I was just trying to be cautious. The name of the defendant was written on the floor with the biochemistry lab. How could I miss something this huge? Is there something wrong?
Objection!
Detective Stanford, did you just say that the victim wrote down the name of the killer? That's right, sweetie. That's strange. Please look at the photo of the biochemistry lab. Besides a messy pool of blood, there's nothing on the ground. Oh, indeed. Detective Stanford, are the letters beyond the area of the photo? There's a crucial location of the case. This is a crucial location of the case. We examined every corner carefully during investigation. Besides, when the victim appeared in the biochemistry lab, he was already severely injured. How could he have been able to find a hidden place? Order. I caught her. All right, let's seize this opportunity. Objection? Huh? If you beat someone to a severe injury and find him writing your name on the ground, what would you do? Huh? Answer my question. Wipe it off? Exactly. As pushing the victim out of the window, the defendant used the handcart to transport him back to the biochemistry lab. The dying victim did not have enough strength to find a hidden place and only could leave the information at the scene. Unfortunately, the killer discovered the information and promptly wiped it clean. Huh? If it was wiped clean, how did you know the writing? I seem to have found a contradiction, haven't I? Luminal. What? What's that? Is it something edible? Don't eat it, Annie! Don't eat luminal! Don't chat! Chat! Don't eat luminal. No. Luminol is a kind of reactant used to detect traces amount of residual blood. What? No way! Sweetie, it seems you still remember some basic knowledge of the criminal investigation. Luminol not only makes the visible bloodstains visible to the naked eye, but also reveals the original appearance of bloodstains that have been wiped away. Wow, it's so amazing. Oops, I completely forgot about that. We need to get ourselves some luminol. Chief. I have a really bad feeling. Please take a look here. This is the original appearance of the discovery site on site. The police sprayed luminol at the site and took a new photo under UV lights. Oh, the letters. Wow, the letters indeed appear. They are glowing. It's clear with this photo the victim wrote down the name of the defendant indeed. How is this possible? Ah! The police have already confirmed that the bloody writing of Zoe was indeed his victim's. Furthermore, the handwriting has been verified to belong to the victim. Fuck, there is blood on his hand.
Objection.
Wait a minute. It's generally difficult to determine the handwriting left by fingers, isn't it? How can you be sure that it was Joseph Crimson's handwriting? A reference. Huh? It's not easy to analyze the handwriting left by fingers, but we're lucky to find a reference. There's a whiteboard for taking notes in the director's office. Ah, the whiteboard. There happens to be some words written on by the director with a finger with ink. So, comparison, the handwriting on the whiteboard and the blood writing at the crime scene are indeed the same person. Are we sure that both were left by the director? How could it be? Also, again, I would like to ask, how can we be sure it was the director's handwriting? It's a very simple question, you know? No wonder Zoe Sapphire messed up the bloodstain. She was trying to erase her own name. Oops. If this is a nightmare, please wake me up right about now. Well, that's enough. I have spent enough time with you. I gotta go. Sweetie, do you have anything else to say? Objection! No, well then, my job is finally done. Whoops, I don't have anything useful to refute the evidence. What else can I say or do for now? But before I leave, let me give you one last reminder. Huh? You're involved in this case. It's not just you're involved in this case, not just to earn some commission, are you? Indeed. I don't know how Zoe's gonna pay me. You can't even handle this situation, let alone uncover her deeper secrets behind the case. Do you realize that you overestimate yourself? Could it be Detective Stanford is implying something to me? Take care of yourself. Oh my, Detective Stanford really comes and goes like the wind. Luna, are we going to lose? If it wasn't for Detective Stanford's reminder, I would have forgotten why I came here. What hidden secrets behind the Director Crimson's death? Is the research center related to them? Are there any more clues left from the incident 5 years ago? I took this case for something more than just winning. But now I can't even protect my client. It's so embarrassing. If I continue to be down, even Annie would look down on me, let alone Chief. Thanks to Detective Stanford, the truth of this case has been revealed. It's time to deliver the verdict. Huh? Sis, Luna, should we do something now? Therefore, this court declares the defendant Zoe Sapphire.
Objection.
Defense, do you have anything else to say? Your Honor, our side believes that the reason for the convicting of the defendant is still not sufficient. Oh, in my view, it is already more than sufficient. Maybe we missed some details? I don't think so. Detective Stanford has done a very thorough job. I believe she wouldn't overlook anything. Apart from the defendant not confessing her guilt, the evidence presented is more than enough for a verdict. Right, he reminds me, even though it's a desperate attempt, but it's my last choice right now. Your Honor, you mentioned that the defendant has not confessed her guilt, right? Yes, why? Since you believe that the evidence is sufficient, why don't we ask her to come forward and confess her guilt? Well, what? Then we can save the trouble of further questioning after the verdict is delivered. What do you think? What do you mean, Miss Ray? Are you suggesting that your own client confessed her guilt in court? I'm sorry, Miss Sapphire. I hope you won't blame me. Huh, you want me to testify? No problem. Oh, I was overthinking it.
Objection.
Well, Prosecutor Schilbert, there's no need to question the defendant. She won't make any statements against herself. How do you know that? You haven't even listened. You haven't even listened yet. Can you play a C major on the Black Keys? Counting on the defendant's testimony to save the case is a waste of time. It's strange. The prosecutor has suddenly become quite talkative. Could it be that Zoe Sapphire possesses information he doesn't want to reveal? Your Honor, the defense insists the defendant has the right to speak in court. Whether she tells the truth or not should be judged by you, Your Honor, and not neither of us. If the defense insists, the court has no reason to prevent the defendant from speaking. All right. Mr. Prosecutor seems quite unhappy. If we can make a breakthrough in Miss Sapphire's testimony, he'll be even unhappier because he will have to continue doing his work and not listening to music. Defense, please stay forward to the witness stand. She is already there, Your Honor. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Please be a bit more serious. Defendant, what on earth is on your head? Oh, it's a clothespin. A clothespin? Why is it on your head? Why ask? I lost my hairpin, so I just grabbed it to clip my hair. Young people, too lazy to even look for a hairpin. I know, right? Looking at you, Prosecutor Schulbert. Please don't generalize all young people, okay? I don't have a clothespin in my head. Neither do I. Says the guy who's wearing headphones as a prosecutor! Imagine how it would look if he had a clothespin on his head. Well, let's begin. Name and occupation. Time to introduce myself. My name is Zoe Sapphire, female. As for my occupation, I'm an intern in research at the Crimson Ultra Realistic Robot Research Institute. I'm 27 years old, unmarried. I love fish and pork, and I'm a music kid. This isn't your dating profile, Zoe! And I'm easygoing. My zodiac sign is Aquarius, and type blood O. As you can see, my name and as you can see, my measurements from top to bottom are.
So noisy.
I agree. You better stop here. Oh, okay. Mr. Prosty became quite scary just now. Maybe this isn't the unreliable Miss Sapphire, his nemesis. No more unnecessary noise. Just honestly testify about your actions on that day. Fine, I'll testify. Why are you being so fierce? I think she's trying to flirt with him, but I'm not quite really sure. He's just like, yeah, whatever. He just kind of has that attitude going for him. He just kind of has that, whatever. Let's just get this over with kind of vibe. Like I said, he has all Hasten vibes. And I love it. Oh, damn it. My body pedal didn't show up. Why won't my button work? Oh, it worked this time. I never intended to kill the director. I just made the voodoo doll to curse him with a cold. That afternoon, I left the stockroom for some affairs. When I returned, I found the director lying still at the stockroom entrance. It scared me to death. I thought he was dead. I didn't want to get in trouble, so I moved him elsewhere. Later, the director suddenly revives, and he wrote my name. Oh my god. What? Revived? Oh my god. My head's aching. How much have you been hiding from me? So the defense witnessed the dying victim writing her name. Yes, I was really scared at the moment. If you're innocent as you say, why would the victim write your name when he revived? I don't know, probably because that's what he saw. Well, I have no idea. If only I could drag the director out of the morgue and ask him directly. Order! Order. Nonsense. I better stop her nonsense right away. Your Honor, the defense requests a question on the defense's testimony immediately. Okay, Prosecutor Schubert, what do you think? It doesn't matter, as you wish. I mean, I love talking as him. It's just like, I just love that, like, nonchalantness. He's got this nice nonchalant vibe to him. It is awesome. And I wonder why I like it so much. It's a goddamn mystery. Very well. Defense attorney is allowed to question the defendant.
Hold it!
Didn't you confirm his death at the time? I was scared at the moment. How could I have dared to check the body? That makes sense. So she also has a normal side. Besides Director Crimson, it always looks like a walking dead. It's normal even if I mistook him for a corpse at first glance. Forget I said anything. Anyways, I can't remember the details. I was just shocked at the time. And then I could all I think about was pushing him away quickly and push him away quickly. Way quickly, push him away quickly, push him away quickly.
Hold it!
Revived? You mean he collected his consciousness? Yes, but that's different from what I said. What I had in mind. He was like he became a zombie. As if you've seen it before. But it means when Miss Sapphire discovered the victim, he was still alive. Prosecutor Schulbert, is it possible that after being pushed into the biochemistry lab, the victim was subjected to a second injury, then died? Impossible. An absent report proves it clearly. Yes, it seems that Director Crimson only suffered one impact. So a severe injury person suddenly revived, then had the strength to ride underground. Is that medically possible? Definitely. Even a dying rabbit will bite. It's not that hard to understand. Alright then, defendant, based on your own judgment, why did the victim write your name? How would I know? Maybe the director just took the last person he saw as the killer. Right, just like the imprinting behavior. When a baby bird hatches, it only takes the first creature as it sees as its mother. I've never heard of the defended killer with imprinting.
Hold it!
How old are you? Why would you believe in such things? Well, I was just venting my grievances. How could I perk as a director in reality? I heard a bit about this in an ancient curse from the elders in my village. Really? That sounds so amazing. Tell me more. Why is she so concerned by such things in her own trial? But I only have known I've only known that this curse can cause death. I never heard of it causing a cold. What's wrong, everyone? Did I say something wrong? Annie, I think from now on you should just drink more tea and talk less. Alright. And hand everyone else tea. Except for the prosecutor.
Hold it!
What affairs? On the afternoon I went to... Oops, I forgot. How can you forget that? Oh, it's no big deal. So what if I forgot?
Hold it!
You mean that when you left the stockroom, Director Crimson wasn't there, but when you came back, he appeared. Yes, that's exactly what happened. The judge sighed. It seems like he completely doesn't believe what Miss Sapphire said. Although I knew that yesterday, I didn't ask for enough details back then. I can't just let it go, but I asked for more details. Defendant, please provide more detailed information about your testimony. For example... What kind of clothes was the victim wearing at the time? Clothes, just the same as usual. The uniform of the center and the white lab coat. We talked about this questioning yesterday. He wasn't wearing a metal vest or a helmet. In that case, his clothing at the time didn't seem to any different from the photo. Yes, it was unknown, except for the part stained with red blood. It was all clean and white. Did the director always wear it during work? Are there any spare ones? Huh? He threw all of his clothes to me to wash. There's a spare one, but I just haven't washed it yet. Even such personal task was assigned to an intern. The director was a bit too much. I think according to Mr. Prosecutor's inference, there isn't something strange about the director's clothes. Think it over. Something does seem wrong. When in doubt, raise an objection. Miss Sapphire, thank you for your testimony. I finally discovered a fatal contradiction in the prosecutor's evidence. You just said that the director's clothes was apart from the parts stained with blood, were all clean and white, right? Yeah, what's the problem with that? The director valued the clothes a lot. That's not the point. Now, what's the point you want? This evidence conflicts with the conditions of the director's clothes.
That's it.
This evidence has conflicts with the victim's clothes. What does this evidence explain? Did I take the wrong one? No comment. If you have no comment, just shut up. Please don't fool me with unrelated things, such as at a crucial moment. Oops, got punished.
That's it. That's it.
No, because with that, wouldn't the you have enough conflicts with conditions?
That's it.
When in doubt. Okay, sorry.
Hold it.
You meant when you left the stockroom, Dr. Grenson wasn't there? This is the only question that really makes sense.
Objection. That's it.
No. No.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, of course. The contradiction with the victim's clothes lies in the weather report. Weather reports. The weather report from the day of the incident clearly states that from 4 p.m. to 5:23 p.m., there was a thunderstorm in the area where the center is located, and the rainfall was extremely heavy. The estimated time of death is between 4 and 6 p.m. In other words, there should have been a heavy downpour at the scene where the victim was killed. That means, according to the prosecution, the victim died from being pushed into a deep pit to the center's building. If that's true, how could the victim's clothes be so clean? Right, falling into a pit in a downpour would not only soak the clothes, but also leave lots of mud stain. Exactly, the prosecution's claim about the cause of death doesn't hold up at all. Order, order. The prosecutor seems to be daydreaming, gang. Leave him alone. Now I need to press on with full force. Ow. Gotta stop slamming my desk. My client Zoe Sapphire discovered the body with the victim's clothing and the same as is in this photo. This contradicts the prosecution claim that the victim fell into the deep pit. The defense argues that the pit couldn't be the actual crime scene. Therefore, the claims that Zoe Sapphire is the only possible culprit falls apart.
So noisy.
Uh-huh. Prosecutor Schulberg, do you have something else to say? Dealing with this guy for a long time will definitely give me a heart attack. The defense claim has already been refuted by the prosecution earlier. Your refutation has been citing a decisive contradiction. Are you going to ignore it? Yeah. I feel like it should have been like, yeah. What? Because it's not even worth discussing. Since that case, let me generously explain the flaws in your fetal contradiction. Oh no, he's doing that again. First, the defense claims that it must be raining heavily when the crime happened. Overruled. According to the weather report, the heavy rain started exactly at 4 p.m. And the estimated time of death you mentioned on the odds area is also from 4 to 6 p.m. Yes, the time overlaps. The time appears to overlaps, but it's just a subtle overlap. Based on both reports, these two events could have happened simultaneously at 4 p.m. And according to the weather reports at 4 p.m., the rain had just started. As long as the murderer moved the victim inside the building before the rain intensified, the body would not have had the chance to be fully exposed to the rain. With such a light amount of dampness, it would dry within the time of a song. Then it would be difficult to detect any traces. But furthermore, the defense questioned the lack of stains on the victim's clothes. Overruled. Overruled again? Objection, Your Honor! I mean, not Your Honor. Objection! Bullshit! Objection! I would like to go. Objection. Nuh-uh. What the fuck do you mean, nuh-uh? As I mentioned, at 4 p.m. when the rain started, there was no standing water in the deep pit. If the victim had fallen into the pit at the time, his clothes would have only been in contact with dry soil. It's easy to remove such traces, so it doesn't prove anything. Wait, even if there was dry soil, there should be some traces, right? Overruled. Why? The defense argument is based on completely believing the defendant's testimony. However, the defense could deliberately avoid mentioning what's unfavorable to her on the crime scene. The prosecution does not agree to take the defense's testimony as facts unconditionally. The defendant's testimony states that the victim's clothing was unchanged from usual, as seen in the crime scene photo. What if the defendant lied? The victim could have been wearing another jacket at the time of the incident. Afterwards, the defendant disposed of it to conceal the truth. Have you considered that? But I did it. It's only natural for the defense, as a suspect, to lie for her own benefit. The court will consider her testimony as reference, not facts. In conclusion, we can determine the defense clearly underestimates everyone in the trial. Otherwise, she wouldn't raise this so-called doubts. What? I didn't underestimate anyone. Overruled. You did. I love that. You did. You! These arguments are clearly based on assumptions, but I can't find strong evidence to counter them. Unfortunately, the defense seems unreliable to reverse this situation. Well, what should I do now? I really have no way out. Ugh, I've been held on for so long. Is there really no way out? Since that case, let's proceed forward into previous procedure.
Objection!
Who is that objecting? The cute little girl who will definitely give you tea later, Your Honor? It was me. Annie? Mr. Beard, Mr. Prosecutor, I have a question to ask. May I? It's difficult to refuse such an adorable girl. Go ahead. That's our secret. Our assistant is adorable. That's our secret weapon. The officer record mentioned that the director's head had suffered a severe blow. So were there any traces of soil on his hair? Wait. What is Annie trying to do? No, the victim fell before the rain intensified. Even his head was stained with dry soil. It could easily be brushed off. It doesn't change anything. That's not correct. I observed that at the entrance of the center, the soil there is clayey soil. This type of soil has a low sand content and good water retention properties. The deeper you dig, the moister it becomes. Is that so? The information provided by Director Schulbert earlier showed that the pit was 6 meters deep. When my villagers planted lemon saplings, they only dig pits that are half a meter deep, and the soil there is already very moist. The surface of that pit is always covered with waterproof cloth so the soil moisture could be preserved. If the director fell into such a deep pit, even if he was wearing another clothes and appeared clean, his hair would definitely have gotten wet. Clay soil is very difficult to remove. Mr. Prosecutor, why did the police officers find any traces on his head? This question cannot be overruled. Yay, Annie! Good job, Annie! We're proud of our girl. Annie, how'd you know that? She grew up in Lemon Village for her whole life. Everyone who works in the fields knows about it, so I did it. So did I help this time? Of course, you're my savior. I love you so much, Annie. That's great then. The assistant's doubts are quite reasonable. The court cannot afford to overlook this detail. Bailiff, contact the police at the crime scene immediately and obtain a sample of the soil from the deep pit. We'll adjourn for 15 minutes for the samples. Thanks, Annie. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it to the end. I still have a long way before I can stand on my own. During this time, both the prosecution and defense should reorganize their information and strategies. Well then, we'll now adjourn. Miss Lawyer, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Shut up! What's gotten into you? Are you ever possessed by that prosecutor? You're driving me crazy. If it weren't for Annie, we would be doomed by now. Is that so? Are you desperate to be convicted? Why would you act so abnormally? What else have you done? I've already told you everything I know, I guess. Whoops. I'm going to be crazy. If I knew the victim wrote your name in blood in his last breath, I would never have taken this case. What? Well, we gotta breathe now, haven't we? Sis Luna, calm down. I think our situation isn't as tough as before. Thank you, Annie. Without you, we would have lost. Is the soil matter you mentioned for real? I'm a good girl and never lie. I trust your judgment. However, that alone will only buy us some time. Debunking Prosecutor Schulbert's hypothesis won't make us win. We have to present a new argument. I see. Miss Sapphire, besides that deep pit, were there really no other places in the center that can create a 15-meter drop? A 15-meter drop? Well, actually, I've never heard of that big pit before. That place is usually covered with plastic sheets. Who would have bothered to lift it and take a look? Yet you still bothered to move the body. But I can assure you that on the day of the incident, I opened the window only to get some fresh air. If the director fell from the stockroom, how I could know nothing. That dead-eye prosecutor really is unreliable. How dare you say someone else is unreliable? Anyways, we still can't figure out any possibilities for the director's death. The initiative is to still is still in the prosecution's hands. What actions might Mr. Prosecutor take? Who knows? He's so annoying. I've never heard of him before. He's a newbie! Well, Sis Luna, you got through such a difficult situation, so I believe you can make it in the following trial. Let's have a cup of tea. Miss Sapphire, join us. Love you, Annie. Let's relax with a cup of hot tea and a prosecutor who alternates between daydreaming and controlling the situation like a machine gun. I've never heard of him before, but one thing's for sure. Next half of the trial won't be easy. I've received warnings from Detective Stanford and help from Annie. Such lucky things won't keep happening. Or will they? Next thing we know, Stella's gonna bust through that wall and be like, Sis, you're an idiot for taking this case. Okay, sorry, I needed to put my hair up into my bun, because it was getting a bit too much. And now I have to readjust my headphones because of it. From now on, I'm the last one to rely on. The recess is over. Defense and defendant, please take your positions immediately. Coming! November 10th, 11 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Now the trial of Miss Joyce Sapphire continues. Prosecutor Schobert, how is the investigation of the soil? As the defense states, the soil in the deep pit is soft and moist. Great, at least we can breathe a sigh of relief on this matter. Ahem. This defense maintains our previous opinion. The deep pit is not the actual crime scene. The prosecution's accusation against the defendant is unfounded. Is that so? Huh? The spot of dust can be determined in a further investigation, but the defendant's suspicions go far beyond. Defendant's suspicion goes far beyond what has been revealed so far. What do you mean? Since you insist on the fallacious argument, I'll use an adapted version of DeVox going home to send you back to the starting point. What is that? An eyewitness. Oh, what? There's an eyewitness? Right. In yesterday's investigation, Deputy Director Goldstein mentioned that he hoped that he would not make things difficult for today's witness in the center. Could it be the person who's about to testify? Prosecutor Schobert, there's an eyewitness in this case? Why haven't I never heard of it? The identity of this witness is special, so it was not registered. If it weren't for someone persistently nagging, this trial wouldn't have been delayed until now. Why blame me for that? Prosecutor Schobert, you should have known that the courts cannot acknowledge witnesses who have not been certified by the police. This witness is a participant in the classified project at the center. Classified? If not for her case, her identity should never be been revealed. Wow, so mysterious. Although she wasn't registered, Detective Stanford signed her testimony permit before leaving. Is that enough? Since it's personally permitted by the Deputy Director of the Criminal Investigation Purdue, I have no objections. Bring in the witness now. So, she came after all. Oh!
那个，大家好。
Hello everyone.
你好。
Hello.
这个姐姐就是那个机密项目的
So this lady is the participant in the classified project?
有点不一样呢。
She's a bit different from what I imagined.
我也有同感。
I agree. Hello, witness.
那个，听那位大哥哥说，
I heard from that sir that I should testify. Yes, take it easy. I'm the boss in the courtroom. No one can bully you. The judge becomes a grandpa again.
好的。
Alright though, I can't guarantee to be clear. I'll do my best.
证人，
Witness, your name and occupation.
这个
My name is
小女子名叫
Emily
海
White.
里实验
And for
嘛
my occupation,
大概是
I'm probably a researcher at the Crimson Ultra Realistic Robot Research Center. But probably. No, I mean I am a researcher. Oh, this is something without doubt. I hope you can state it with certainty. Maybe she's just too nervous. I need to help her relax.
证人小姐，
Witness, if you are nervous, you can use your hands.
So noisy，浪费时间。
Don't waste time. Start the testimony now. Fuck you! Okay, fucker. Okay. Hey, it's so rude to interrupt the girls' conversations. You asshole! I kind of like him though.
请你把那
Please
天的情况说
restate what you said to the prosecution that day to the court. As you're referring to Zoe's actions yesterday? Got it.
小女子明白了。
In the afternoon, I met Zoe when I went out for a walk to relax. I saw her wiping something at the entrance of the biochemical laboratory. Then Zoe came out of the laboratory and saw me. She seemed particularly flustered. She had a piece of rag in her hands that was stained red by blood, I think. Zoe said to me, "You didn't see anything. Forget about it." So I thought maybe she had broken something again and was afraid of being scolded by the director. Now it seems like Zoe is the murderer, right? Miss White, you truly witnessed something extraordinary. Maybe? Yes? Witness, you don't need to doubt yourself. This is the fact. Is that so? In addition, the police found a large piece of rag in the stockroom. The rag still had bloodstains on from the victim, the Joseph Crimson. If it's not enough that the victim wrote down the killer's name. Being caught red-handed would be beyond the argument, right? Your Honor, please give that verdict. I am unable to continue this case. The truth is beyond a doubt, Your Honor. Please deliver your judgment. Considering the current testimony and evidence, I have to say the guilty verdict against the defendant is well-founded. Hey! This is the first time I've seen this witness, so just be sure, please allow me to question her. If you insist.
Hold it.
How did she say it to you at the time? She repeated it to me. Repeated? Yes, repeated. She kept saying it over and over and over again. Does she repeat the sentence, "You didn't see anything, forget about it," many times? Huh?
Objection.
The witness is not an actor and is not obligated to perfectly reenact the situation. Objection sustained. The testimony has already made the situation clear. Is that so? Defense, please ask something more relevant to the case. Oh, okay. Witness, when the defendant made that request, didn't you find it strange? I didn't find anything strange. Zoe often breaks things carelessly.
Hold it!
The defendant often breaks things? Yes. Zoe often breaks things clumsily, so the director always scolds her. When we're organizing the equipment that morning, she was scolded by the director, wasn't she? She's so careless at such an age. I'm really worried about her. If she keeps being like that, she might have trouble finding a boyfriend in the future. What are you talking about? The researcher suddenly spoke a lot when it came to Miss Sapphire. I'm sorry, I lost my manner. I thought the witness was always nervous, but it turns out she can speak properly. It's fine, please continue with your testimony. At that time, you believed she just broken something. Why did you change your opinion now? At the time, I didn't know about what happened to the director.
Hold it!
Do you really think so? Based on your understanding of the defendant, do you think she would kill?
Objection.
The defense is leading the witness to make baseless speculations. Based on my understanding of her, would she really kill?
Objection.
Witness, you don't have to answer it. Even if you do, the court will not consider it as testimony. Is that so? Objection sustained. Defense, please refrain from guiding the witness. I didn't. Mr. Prosecutor doesn't like to speak, does he? Why did he suddenly eject twice? I find it strange too, but the testimony doesn't seem contradictory.
Hold it!
Where did you go? I went to the biochemical laboratory? For relaxing. That's a pretty strange choice for a place. No, I was just passing by. So where did you originally plan to go? Well, I just wanted to walk around with no specific place in mind. I see. I was asking normal questions, wasn't I? Why is she being so uncertain with her answers?
Hold it!
What was she wiping? I didn't see it clearly. Then how could you be certain she was wiping something? Because she made the motion of wiping something, I guess. Yes, that's how it was. What's wrong with this witness? A bit of probing, her tone becomes uncertain.
Hold it!
What kind of flustered? Like the good kind of flustered? The bad kind of flustered? Eh? I mean, was it frightened fluster or embarrassed fluster? Frightened fluster, I guess.
Objection.
Defense, please stop harassing the witness with these pointless questions. Objection sustained. Defense, don't trouble the witness with subtle changes of expressions. Otherwise, you need to guess whether I'm frightened, angered, or embarrassed, angered right now. You're right, I'm sorry. Although frightened and embarrassed have nothing to do with angered. I apologize, Miss White. I didn't mean to trouble you. It's okay.
Hold it!
Witness, when you saw the defendant, she was just coming out of the laboratory. Yes. So you had been looking inside this lab for the whole time? Yes. Was there anything unusual about the laboratory? No. Nothing unusual. Your Honor, I request that the statement be included in the testimony.
Objection.
You're not gonna say anything after yelling objection? Huh? Prosecutor Schobert, what are you objecting to? I don't know. I just find the lawyer's action boring. I just find the lawyer's actions boring. No one objects just because it's boring. Well, I wouldn't know. Maybe I would object just because something's getting boring. Prosecutor Schobert, your objection is unsustained. Whatever. I love this kid. Whatever. He really drives me crazy. Your Honor, since the objection is sustained, can we include that statement in the testimony? Of course, witness, please proceed. Okay. When I glanced into the biochemical lab, I didn't see anything.
Hold it!
Witness, are you sure you didn't see anything? I guess so. Well, when you saw Miss Sapphire, she couldn't possibly have been standing in a vacuum, right? No. I mean, the lab was the same as usual at the time. By usual, do you mean all the days leading up to the incident? Yes. Strange. Why did you tell us such a meaningless lie? Never mind. I can't put an end to such vague testimony.
Objection!
Witness, I don't know what your motive is, but lying in court is unacceptable. Me? Miss Witness, please take a look at this photo. What's this? If you witnessed Miss Sapphire wiping away the bloodstains, even the body of the director should have been beside her. Yes, indeed. With such a large handicart carrying this severely injured director, yet you claimed in your testimony that there was nothing in the biochemical laboratory. Huh?
Objection.
No need to discuss such trivial matters. There might have been an obstruction between the witness's line of sight and the body.
Objection!
The witness description of the defendant wiping the floor was very detailed. If there was such an obstruction, how could she have seen it clearly? Order! Order! Witness, please explain why you didn't see the handicart and the body that you were supposed to see. I don't know. I don't remember.
Objection.
Defense, please don't mislead my witness by pressing her. But that's my job! So fuck you, no. Pressing, misleading me? Yes, your tone during questioning was quite intimidating. The witness couldn't handle such pressure. I wasn't pressing her. It's because the witness's answers were never accurate. Then you shouldn't have guided her testimony. Did I miss a line? Yeah. Guided? If the witness's testimony shows uncertainty, you should bring it up to the court. Instead of forcing her to provide non-consistent, definite answers, as you're doing now. Huh? The witness was humming a country tunes, but you're trying to steer her with the Grand Symphony. Witness, you probably weren't sure if you had glanced into the biochemical laboratory, right? That's probably correct, isn't it? What? The witness has been involved in projects within the center for a long time, with little communication with outsiders. The more pressure you put on her, the more likely she'll draw an enormous conclusion. Your Honor, am I right? Yep. Although I'm not entirely sure what's happening, Prosecutor Schobert seems to make sense. Defense, watch your tone and don't intimidate the witnesses excessively. Okay. Whoops. Who's the one guiding the witness? This prosecutor is really getting on my nerves. But I love him like he's my son. Anyways, the witness testimony is indeed too vague, which means confirming. I also find the witness testimony somewhat vague. The defense suggests that perhaps the testimony just now wasn't the witness's full experience. Many details are missing, and only mentions parts about seeing the defendant wiping the floor, which seems incomplete. Witness, could you carefully recall all your actions within the research center that day of the incident? All of it? Yes, the court also finds the defense request reasonable. Prosecutor Schobert? Whatever. Well, I'll take that as your agreement. Dealing with this guy, even the judge has a tough time. Okay, I'll try my best. I had made my breakfast with Master Sorden in the morning, after which he seemed to have a serious talk with the deputy director. Then I went to the workshop to organize the equipment and heard Zoe being scolded severely by the director. Around 4 p.m., it started thunderstorming outside. I recalled many things from long ago. Then the mouse came into the house and I screamed in fright, and Mr. Sorden came to my rescue. Later, after Mr. Sorden left, I wanted to go out for a walk and meet Zoe, although I don't remember whether I looked into the laboratory. Zoe did have a red-stained rag in her hand. So these are all your actions? It seems to... I am not good with words, and I apologize for causing troubles to everyone. Well, this is quite a messy and disjointed narrative. Says Luna, I understand why Miss White gives me a feeling that I have seen her on TV. Huh? Did she really appear on TV? No, not really. Actually, it's from when I saw in Lemon Village. I watched an anime called Sweet Life. It was a doll girl with Alter. The doll girl had no heart and could only speak and act according to her owner's commands. Wait, Annie, are you suggesting that Miss White's a robot? Miss White is a bit like that doll girl. That otaku. Taking Annie to watch it's just such a cheesy anime. Anyways, that's not the point right now. Cyan mentioned yesterday that she's the only humanoid robot in the center. Miss White shouldn't be some doll girl, but I still feel like something's off about her. Defense, what are you spacing out for? Nothing. No need to worry, Your Honor. Sorry, I got lost in thought. Please start the questioning promptly. Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it!
Are there mice in the research center? In the center?
Objection.
What appears in the workshop at the time was not a real mouse, but the mechanical one. I knew that. A mechanical mouse? Yes, that's it. I thought it was that too. I guessed it too. Clearly, it's something everyone knows that. So, what's there to object to? It was a prototype made by the victim, Joseph Grimson, during the early stages of his robot research. Although it had no research value, it roamed around the center. Allowing a mechanical mouse to roam around, Director Crimson's intentions were quite unique. Yes, I was scared by it on the day in the incident. The mouse was very lifelike. Even Cislina was startled by it. Spare the unnecessary details. Considering this, it's not real surprising that Remley White was scared by a mechanical mouse, right? It's normal for an outsider like me to be startled by a furry little animal suddenly appearing, but this mechanical mouse has been roaming around the center for so long. Haven't you gotten used to it, Miss White? Used to it? It seems like I'm not. That's another one of those ambiguous answers. Witness, what did you think when you saw the mechanical mouse?
Objection.
Defense, why do you always get entangled in irrelevant details like this? Because I learned from Charlie Drake, obviously.
Objection!
The case happened in a robotics research center, and the mechanical mouse is also technically a robot. If we don't clarify the question, who knows if it's relevant to the case or not? Oh, this tiny thing is also a robot? Could it transform into a human and fly around in the sky? Probably not. Anyway, since it could be relevant to the case, witness, please answer her question. Okay, then I'll do my best to recall. At the time, I was thinking if only I had brought my black cat from home earlier.
Hold it!
You have a black cat? Yes, it was a birthday gift from my grandma named Mango. If I had brought it to the research center earlier, I wouldn't have been scared by the mouse. The naming style, it matches perfectly with Annie's grape. What was grape again? If it would be me, I definitely wish to have a brave cat by my side too. But Grandpa is allergic to cat fur, so I couldn't bring grape home. Come to think of it, can cats be brought to the center? Did I miss something?
Objection!
Miss White, your testimony is becoming increasingly peculiar. What did I say wrong this time? Because you were scared by the mechanical mouse, you wish to bring your black cat to the research center? If that's truly what you thought, then I have doubts whether you were really affiliated with the center.
Objection.
The witness has been at the center for 6 years. There's no doubt about it. 6 years. That's longer than I expected. Prosecutor Schilbert, I don't mean to question the prosecution's inquiry, but this statement from the witness is too illogical. Defense, what do you mean by that? Please take a look at this poster from the research center. A poster lists the information about opening days and the 3 laws of robotics. But the most important thing is small print at the bottom of the poster. Let me see. For safety reasons, strict prohibition of entry is by non-human entities. Well, what? Miss White, as a researcher working in the center for many years, it's impossible for you not to know the rules of the prohibiting non-human entry from entering. Yet when you saw the mechanical mouse, your first reaction was, I want a cat to bring in. Having such thoughts is really unreasonable. Miss White, many details of what you said are unclear. How much of your testimony can actually be trusted?
So noisy.
The witness has been diligently testifying about the defendant's actions, yet the defense keeps fixating on trivial matters. Your insistent noise is making it unbearable.
Objection!
What I'm advocating now is that the testimony of the witness is fundamentally unreliable.
Objection.
And my conclusions is that the testimony of the witness is indeed incredible. You're just shifting focus on the discussion. It feels different from the fierce rebuttal earlier. Now he wants a confrontation with me. Very well, as long as it's not a one-sided attack, I'm not afraid. I must now overlook any loopholes in his language. Prepare. The discordance in the details are lured incredibly of the testimony. Right now, I doubt you truly witnessed the events. That's only because the testimony of the witness is too detrimental to your side. You refuse to accept it, that's all. The evidence shows that the witness has been living in the research center for 6 years, which is fact stronger than any word. The witness was frightened by a sudden appearance of something, so it's normal that she didn't recognize it. The witness testimony clearly mentions the defendant's tampering with the scene, so pressing her own condition is pointless. The crucial point of this testimony is the defendant's attempt to commit her crimes.
Objection!
According to Cyan, besides myself, the only mechanical creatures in the entire center was the floor-sweeping robot, Moonlit Pyramid, and this mechanical mouse. Are there only 2 things that could appear at her feet? How could she not recognize it?
Objection.
Faced with a sudden shock, the witness may have not recognized it as a mechanical mouse at all, only seeing a terrifying shadow.
Objection!
If the witness really had lived in the center for 6 years, she should have been accustomed to the so-called sudden shock. Even if she didn't recognize it for a moment, she would never mistake it for some terrifying shadow.
但是听清楚，
But listen carefully.
证人是被机械所
Whether this witness was sacred or by the mouse or by wanting to bring a cat over,
这都只是证人的内
the
心
witness's inner emotions, and no one can refute them.
而证人所提供的证词
And the testimony provided by the witness is unique, not mentioned by anyone else.
想要证明他的证词
Trying to provide her testimony as the lack of credibility based on her being scared by a mouse is completely insufficient. He's indeed not easy to deal with. In such a short time, he's already organized his next round of attacks. A new round of counterattacks is about to begin. Listen carefully.
证人面对自己讨
When facing the mouse she hates, the witness subjectively psychologically activities cannot be refuted.
而现有证据表明，
Moreover, existing evidence shows that during the witness's 6 years in the center, she has no contact with other organizations.
一个背景清楚、
A witness king with a clean and clear background has no motive to provide false testimony.
证人的证
The
词
witness's testimony is clear and logical.
能还原他记忆中的事实，这已
Capable of reconstructing the facts as she remembers them is sufficient.
Objection. 证人能够被
The fact that the witness is being terrified by a mouse after being living in the same building for 6 years,
加上作证时，
coupled with her often vague and hesitant testimonies,
真的清楚的
does she truly remember everything clearly?
objection，他所说的内容，
Her testimony aligns with the case and is logically sound.
而且根本没有说
She has no motive to lie.
Objection. 证人没有动
While
手
the witness may lack the motive to lie,
没在说谎。
it doesn't mean she isn't lying.
证人在作证时，
During her testimony, she frequently looks around nervously, hesitating,
某个特定的
and keeps making specific gestures.
对此，我
In this light, I have a bold speculation.
这位证人的证
The reason the witness's testimony is riddled with inconsistencies and ambiguities is because the witness was able to describe her actions the day of the incident, but when I asked for details, she became hesitant.
就好像那些事
As if those events weren't her own experiences, but rather something that she's reciting for someone else from someone else's script.
这些违和
These inconsistencies can all be explained with one guess.
紧张。我认为证人
I think this witness is likely to have significant memory impairment.
这虽然是个大胆的
This may be a bold speculation, but it's the only reasonable one.
证人作证时的某
If the witness' ambiguous testimony isn't national,
他根本想不
it can't be simply she can't recall those details.
这样一来，
It makes sense. She would be frightened by the mechanical mouse and unaware of the center's no cat policy.
这位证人
The witness isn't lying. She's simply suffering from amnesia.
失忆了。
Yay! But what does that prove for us? This is truly an unexpected conclusion. Order! Order! Witness, is this true? Why didn't the prosecution mention it in advance? I'm not. I can't say.
so noisy。
Defense has no evidence. This is basic speculation.
Objection.
I made the speculation because there is evidence. That's impossible. The witness belongs to a confidential project. Even the prosecution doesn't have all of her information. You only met her for the first time today. How could you have evidence? You're right. I haven't had this evidence yet because at the moment it's not in my hands. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate inspection of an exhibit in the art room. What? You want to conduct an emergency search in a courtroom? Such action could cause chaos. No, it wouldn't. It's not a large scale case. No, there's only one place I want to investigate. Oh, you should have said that earlier. Where do you want to investigate? It wouldn't be wrong. Recall the witness's actions since entering the courtroom. The answer is clear. To prove what the witness is about, we just need to inspect. We just need to check the witness seat. To be precise, her personal belongings. Miss White, could you please show me the notebook in your hands? You've been constantly flipping through it since entering the courtroom, confirming its contents when I inquire. What exactly is written in the notebook? I think everyone is curious right now. There's nothing in here. It's just a diary, and there's nothing in it. With the defense word, I also find your notebook very suspicious. Miss White, there's no so-called personal items in the courtroom. Since you bring it here, the court has the right to inspect it. So please hand it over. In the end, it turns out like this. Your Honor, I can hand over the diary, but there are too many people here. Understood. After all, the diary involves your privacy. There's no need to disclose it to so many people. Please have the relevant people stay. The other audience can temporarily leave. Under the organization of the bailiff, the audience gradually left the courtroom, leaving only us. Later, Remley White quietly handed over her notebook. Although I was mentally prepared, when I actually saw it, I was still too shocked to speak. I never could have imagined that this diary would contain such content. To my lovely and strong little beautiful Remley White, I am you and you are me. The following contents may surprise you, but please believe it, because it's what you wrote yourself. On March 10th, 2018, you were seriously injured in a traffic incident that developed cylindrical amnesia. Since then, your memory can only last for 7 days, and every Saturday it will return to the night before the accident. What day is it today? Please look up the electronic calendar. It was especially bought by you by Master Swordsman from the Republic of Neon. The place you are now is called the Crimson Ultra Realistic Robot Research Institute. Everyone here is nice to you. They accompany you every day and try to cure you. Although everyone likes you, and you like them too, unfortunately, you don't remember them now. But it's okay. You have written everything that happens every day in this book. Just flip through it, and you'll know. Mom and Dad are away, but they'll be back soon. Please be a good girl and keep it up. To love me is to love yourself. Remley White, April 25th, 2018. After the shocking content recorded from the first page, there are pages of diaries written by Miss White. From the time she got to the notebook, she wrote down every day happening to prevent herself from forgetting them. These diaries have never been interrupted for 6 years, continuing until the day of the incident. I'm sorry. I just lied to you all. As you can see, my memory is still stuck in 6 years ago. My testimony was just from what was written in the notebook. I actually don't remember anything. This is truly unbelievable. Witness, I express your deep sympathy for your ordeal, and I hope you don't mind our earlier words. It's okay. Witness, why didn't you tell us about this from the beginning? I was a participant in a confidential project, and my condition was also a part of it. Before the trial, Prosecutor Schilbert and I made an agreement to do our best to conceal this matter. So Prosecutor Schilbert, you knew about this? Yeah. Every time he says yes, I'll just go like, yeah. Well, except for when he doesn't have his headphones on. Because when he has his headphones on, he's just kind of like the nonchalant guy kind of type of vibes. The witness is a volunteer for a project at the center. Due to this peculiarity of her memory, she could be the subject for a certain experiment. The prosecution was entrusted by the center's management to conceal the above facts. I see. It is indeed inappropriate to discuss such information with so many people present in the courtroom just now. Witness, if the contents of your diary are true, you should only have the memories of the research center for a few days, right? To be precise, my memory just reset yesterday. Only one day. I'm still not used to this identity. But every single day for the 6 years recorded in this diary seems very interesting. I read it over and over and over again and couldn't get enough of it. I really wish I could experience those things myself. Miss White, you did. There's only one thing that they refused to tell me, but I can guess. My mom and dad, they're no longer in this world, right? What? There's not a single word about them in the diary. If they were still alive, wouldn't they have come to see me for 6... They would have come to see me for 6 years. Really? Don't say such things. It's okay, Zoe. I'm not alone in the center. Though I always forget everyone, you accept me over and over again. To me, you're all my family. Remley. Whoosh. Though it's hard to interrupt them, the trial must go on. Miss White, I can completely understand your feelings, but now one of your family members, Director Crimson, has passed away. Is Zoe Sapphire really the one who killed him? We must uncover the truth. I don't think you want anything to go wrong in this trial, right? That's for sure. But even though I want to help, I really have forgotten everything about that day. While the witness's memory may no longer exist, her diary holds strong reference value. The prosecution has already conducted a handwriting analysis, and the context recorded on the day of the incident are genuine and valid. Despite the uproar caused by the defense, the situation hasn't changed. The situation hasn't changed. Is that really the case? Miss White submitted evidence that indicates a brand new lead. Really? The witness have already mentioned the contents of the diary during her testimony, right? Yes, but the most crucial thing about this diary isn't the contents itself. To be precise, the most important clue is here.
That's it.
It's here. Is there something special about it? Don't you find this place odd? No. Perhaps the defense is too old and comprehend the contents of Miss White's diary. 23. No, they're both 23. What the fuck? You're the same age as me! Miss Ray, this won't do. You must maintain a useful mindset like me. Whoops, please give me another chance. To be precise, the most important clue in the diary is here.
That's it.
It's this torn mark. When did this happen? Miss White, do you have a habit of tearing the paper when keeping a diary? No, I think we should protect the forest and save papers. Even if I made a mistake, I just make corrections. But I would never tear paper for no reason. That's a relief. Defense, what do you mean by that? Since Miss White never tears paper, then this tear can only be done by someone else. Perhaps on the day of the incident, Miss White witnessed something that would expose the real murderer. Knowing her habits of keeping a diary, the murderer quietly tore off this page. Really?
So noisy.
Nonsense. Your interference is entirely based on the assumption that the murderer was someone else. The one who tore off this page could very well have been the defendant, Zoe Sapphire, who has sufficient motive and opportunity.
Objection.
In Miss White's diary, there's clearly a passage about witnessing Zoe Sapphire wiping away bloodstains. If that was Zoe Sapphire who tore the diary, why would she leave such incriminating contents about herself? Ugh. The defense has a point. If the defendant has ever touched the diary, it seems unlikely she would leave this page behind.
So noisy.
Even if it's not Zoe Sapphire who tore off this page, it doesn't prove that it must be the so-called real murderer. If we don't know what's written on this page, we can't even confirm its relevance to the case.
Objection.
That's precisely why the defense believes a thorough investigation is necessary in the case. We don't know who tore off this page, and what was written on it, I don't know. Neither do you, Prosecutor Schulberg. How can we hastily conclude the case before significant clues are clarified? Ugh. Enough, both of you. Calm down. I am calm, Your Honor. Got a bit carried away there, sorry. Did I cause trouble for everyone again? No, I think you become a great help just now. Let me share my views. Since the witness memory is questionable and the court cannot simply rely on her testimony, the defense mentioned of the torn diary, while not proving its irrelevance to the case, is still an important lead. To be cautious, the court has decided a temporary suspense of the trial of the case. Phew, finally survived today. Who tore the page of the diary and what was written on it? Also, how do we explain the various particularities about the director's cause of death? Those questions are left for both sides to investigate. Prosecutor Schilbert? Yeah. Many of the rooms of the center have been locked down to protect confidentiality. After today's trial, I believe there is enough reason to request a search of all areas. Indeed. Very well. Today's court session concludes here. I look forward to your performances tomorrow. All right. Thank you, Your Honor. But that is where we're going to have to leave it for this week. Because I ain't streaming for the rest of the week. Save data. We'll just save it right over this. Close the game. Bring myself back up here, even though I'm probably going to be right back down there for Saturday. But thank you all for joining tonight. It was a lovely, lovely time. Yes, we are getting further into this case, and I still don't know what's going on. Because who would at this point, right? But I do have to hop off and get some stuff done. So I'm gonna try to make I'm just gonna try to make this brief and simple, and hopefully everything. So like I said, I won't be around for the rest of the week because I will be at Phoenix Con for the next 4 days. Well, actually, mostly just in the next 3 are my big days. So yeah, indeed, fun times. So I will just say this though, because friends support friends. Even though he hasn't acknowledged the goddamn warning I gave him. Please make sure to check out Madcap and or Alexa this weekend, because they'll be doing stuff. I think they're gonna be doing some repo at some point, and then they're gonna get together with random. I don't remember if it was Friday or Saturday they were gonna do that. I don't know. Just keep up with what they're doing. And I will see you guys all next Tuesday for more Trials of Innocence, because Random asked me if we could switch the Soul Link to Thursday. So yeah, that's gonna be the thing. So yeah, like I said, I have some things to do, and I'm just gonna end it here. So good night, chat.